There's no audio on this end. It's not open yet.
Oh, we'll open it just now.
Oh, you needed my finger. Say it again. Say it again. Say that.
No, you're not gonna catch me.
No, say it again.
Wow. Okay, now we got 2 intros.
Yeah, we're. I mean, what is it? Maybe we'll do 7.
Sorry to be back on the hopefully not that much worse camera, but
I mean, because you're now uploading it from your
financials had to happen, and
we were broke.
We were broke. We had the camera for a month, and I returned it not fully because of financials. That's not what we're talking about today.
I mean, oh fuck! I forgot a coaster.
A what? Oh,
But
you don't need it. It's okay.
uh,
We watched Parasite. John's never seen it. I have.
I've never seen Parasite. I didn't want the subtitles.
This video originally was going to be titled Drunk White Man Explains Parasite to Another Drunk White Man, and I hope that would have gotten views.
It may still be that title.
I think it might still be. But we're also drinking peanut butter chocolate milk stout from Lost Coast. That's our beer for today.
Where is this from? Eureka, California. Rest in peace, California.
Eureka.
Sunset Drive. That is... If that is the Sunset Drive I'm thinking of, then that is right in the fire. I mean, it's happening.
Don't do it, you can't.
What?
Yeah, but then what?
There's a fire happening in
California. No, there's a huge fire in California.
Are we just not supposed to... There's not a fire happening.
Are we a news podcast? We weren't talking about California at all.
I mean, today's Korea. Sorry.
California is today's Korea?
My grandpa would say.
But we watched Parasite today. And
did you make Parasite fun facts?
I did not.
Because that would have been funny.
I know you. Oh, you talking about the actual
Parasite?
I thought about it. I'm like, no. I made some other fun facts though, but we'll get there when we get there.
Is there a ride based on?
Yeah, there's. It's the classic Parasite ride
at
University
Singapore.
University of Singapore. You go through other people's houses and you just steal their food and then you leave.
That would be fun ride. I would enjoy that.
But we're like really not that far in, and John's like, oh, that the landscape rock, that's gonna kill somebody. I'm like, yeah. And then what's the other prediction you had?
The other prediction was he's gonna fall in love with the girl.
Oh, he's gonna fall in love with the girl. Yeah. I go, damn, is this movie that predictable? Is it really?
So,
and I'm like glaring eyes at you the whole time I'm saying it. I'm like, is it really that predictable?
I'll be honest, there are a couple things that I knew happened beforehand. I knew that the family... Spoilers. Is that like a running bit that I do?
I mean, come on, guys. Like, come on.
Is that a running bit that we do when I go, spoilers? Because I swear I've done that more than once.
I think, yeah, definitely, for sure.
But I knew that the family replaced, like, everybody's jobs.
Yeah.
I knew that was, like...
I mean, for this movie particularly, that's not a spoiler at all. I don't think so. Like, that happens within the first hour out of a 2.25 hour movie. Like, that's the subplot of this movie.
Like, I'll put that in the Instagram description.
Yeah.
Like... Because I've been starting to do that now, just like give a little bit of the plot.
Also, this movie came out in 2019. If you haven't seen this by now,
pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. This first time I watched this movie was COVID, and my mind was blown. Also, I was like not super into like foreign films or like subtitles at that time.
So you're a bigot.
Well,
listen to your top 5 movies. I bet none of them are Korean.
House Moving Castle is my number 1, so fuck you. If you've watched our riff-off, or not our riff-off, our rating movie, or fuck.
No, it's our riff-off.
Fuck, I fucked off.
It's our riff-off.
It's not a riff-off, it's our rating 10.
Oh yeah, our rating.
Yeah. I think it was a good episode.
Yeah, if you haven't watched that yet, I would go watch it.
Hopefully any of the 30 of you that have seen this by now have not clicked off the video and you do hear that and you go watch our rate 10 movies in a blind manner, I don't know. 4 minutes, guys, please.
I mean, this movie, I wish I spoke Korean.
But also there's no way you guess the big plot twist of this movie. There's 0% chance.
I had no idea. So I know the shot beforehand. I knew the shot of the guy looking up the stairs.
Yeah.
I knew that shot because when this movie came out, that was every freaking thumbnail. It was the guy looking up.
Yeah.
And so...
But even with that, there's no way.
Like,
you get half of his face and you can't tell who it is.
Yeah.
And what are you going to guess? He comes out from behind the olive glass pantry?
What is the genre in which this movie is?
I don't know if I would classify it as a thriller. It's because it's not a thriller.
Thriller comedy.
Thriller comedy?
Yes.
It's not a comedy, I'll tell you that.
I mean, there's jokes.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like emphasized sarcasm, which you said I wish they had a sarcasm font.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Like, I think that's... I'm going to say it. I prefer dubs over subs every single time because I do like knowing how a character is saying it.
Like the American emphasis of sarcasm.
Yes. Because I'm a big dumb American.
Yeah.
I want to be talked down to. And I want, because I could go through the trouble, read every single thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know that these actors are doing a really good job, but I want to understand in the moment and see their facial reactions, and I think that's why I prefer dubs.
I'm so torn between sub and dub because one, I can understand that American emphasis of people dubbing it over, but then it's the subtitles of the original language, you get their emphasis and they are the actor, they are the one in the situation on the set, you get their full emotion and that. So I didn't think we'd get into Squid Game this early. I watched both season 1 and season 2 dubbed. And I finally watched all the Squid Game 2.
I feel like Voldemort right now.
I can touch you. I think that might be the most word out of every word that you've ever said to me since I've known you. Those might be that might be your most popular phrase.
To you
is Voldemort's "I can touch you now."
Please watch this so I can touch you. Cause I know personally I think you can say this as well. I know I've seen a lot more media than you.
Yeah.
And it's oh, I really want you to see this so I can talk about it. Especially with a new movie that came out.
I still need to see Nosferatu.
Yes. And it's like, once you see that, it's Lord Voldemort. I can touch you now.
But with Squid Game, because I feel like that is a very sarcastic. I don't want to say sarcastic show. There's a lot that goes on that's like, I
feel like it's dark humor.
Dark, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Because it's like very dry. Like we say thing, like it's very dark humor. I feel is very on par with elevated humor, where it's like I say something so unfunny, that it can be funny. It's this like Always Sunny.
That's a great way to put it.
When Always Sunny, because like a lot of I watched early Always Sunny. Like the other day, and it's very everybody has the same personality.
Yeah,
but the way Dennis delivers his lines and the way Mac delivers his lines
completely different.
Completely different, especially once Frank is involved.
Yeah,
once Frank comes in, then they all start to get their own personalities, and they start realizing how they want to deliver lines.
Yeah,
like Mac is very very loose with it.
Yes,
and Dennis is very analytical.
Yes.
And then Charlie's just very
aloof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think especially when we release something today, when recording this.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's coming out the same day as this.
Yeah.
Then we gotta get on it.
We have to start.
Because now that we've said it.
Yeah. Actually, no, it won't. It will release the Wednesday after this.
No, we're releasing something today, and tomorrow, and Wednesday.
We're having a busy week next week. Busy week this week.
Busy week this week.
But it's the whole, once we start doing more creative stuff, once we get into our rhythm of how we want to deliver stuff.
Yes.
And I mean, we are going to be.
And I think that's something similar that we posted right now. Last week was our 99 Balloons video. That's the first thing that we've ever filmed that wasn't live in a podcast and it's not our vision. I know, like, it's our idea, but it's not our vision of how we want things to be. But it's the first thing that we've put out that is produced.
Because we wanted
and I'm happy with that.
Yes, we wanted to. So, like, a lot of this is. We're getting into. Like,
we're so far off Parasite right now. We're like 3 layers deep off of Parasite right now.
We're getting into production talk, but, like, I feel like. I'm going to relay it back to Parasite.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a vision of what you want to do, when you have all the scripts, all the motifs,
mm-hmm.
all the places that you want to film, like
mm-hmm.
we have your apartment.
Yeah.
And we're going to probably record multiple places eventually, like Strawberry Festival, if any of your fans are in Florida.
You guys can meet us at the Strawberry Festival.
We'll be there. I may be a giant strawberry. But we have all these great ideas, and I feel like just putting them pen to paper, producing them, and finding the right people to bring ourselves on, that's definitely the key to building a
But going back to like Parasite again, it's like, oh, we know what we want. Like, we had a bit of a struggle producing it with that 99 Balloons video, but when we watch Parasite, we know the shots that are like, wow, that's a good shot. I think we both have that vision. And this movie is a perfect, like, because it won, what was the award?
It was Best Motion Picture.
And it deserved that because of, I think it's because of the shots. The story is good.
The story is very cookie cutter.
They take a complete 180 halfway through with the basement family or whatever. But I think it's the cinematography that gets them Best Picture.
Yeah, and like, we watched it in Korean,
mm-hmm.
I can tell that the actors were good.
Yeah.
And it's very special, especially when you're watching it in a different language, when you can be sitting back and being like, no, these people's performances
mm-hmm.
are really good.
I think the scene that sells the performances for me is the tuberculosis scene when Mr. Kim, or the dad, is driving the wife of the house, and he's telling his story, and it cuts to them rehearsing it in their apartment, and he's like boisterous about it, and the son's like, whoa, take it down, and then it's like he's playing like, oh, I'm not a very good actor, but I'm a good faker, and I'm like, that's really good to me.
I think I told you this before. But my key to determining whether somebody's a good singer
mm-hmm.
is if they can actively pretend to sing bad and knowingly do that.
What's your example of that? Because I have an example of that.
Off of my head.
Because my example is the recent Domingo SNL with Ariana Grande.
That was mine.
Okay.
And it's very... Because when you're a voice actor,
mm-hmm.
especially with the Robbie Williams movie that just came out...
For the next 2 hours, your ass is mine!
But with the new Robbie Williams movie that just came out, the entire reason... I don't know if this isn't the entire reason, but when you're a vocalist or like singer,
mm-hmm.
you're very comfortable doing voice acting.
Yeah.
Because you're just in a recording studio, it's what you know. And because like your concerts may not be as big,
Mm-hmm.
or like your concerts are mainly people singing back at you,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that takes a little ease off it. I don't know. I'm not a professional singer.
Maybe
But
one day.
Maybe one day. Crazy how I was almost the singer of 2 bands.
Yeah, true. True.
This is true. Maybe one day we'll
What a
tell
lore
that
drop that would be.
Maybe one day we'll tell that story. But basically, if you are more comfortable doing that, because that's the reason he's a monkey, is because he didn't want to physically be there doing a performance.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else is doing the mocap, I believe.
Yeah.
And
But it's his voice?
It's his voice.
Okay.
So he wanted to do the voice for himself, but he didn't want to do the acting for it.
I think that's a great way to, or a great reason to put a monkey in then, because it's like monkey see, monkey do kind of. I don't know if that's the vibe they're going for, but it's something. Maybe that's my copium to why this movie is not gonna be good.
So, did you see like the box office?
Is it good?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Because like I know his music. Like if you hear his like top 3 songs on Apple Music or Spotify, he's like you would be like, oh, I know that song. It was like popular in 2013.
Oh, okay.
But if you like, he's a very big thing in the UK.
Yeah.
But it's just like, why are they making this movie? If it was just a UK thing, like I'm sure they can have it over there.
I'm like, I don't know why it's being produced here, or it's a little confusing to me because I didn't feel like he was pretty popular. But they also just released Bob Dylan. I had really maybe had heard of Bob Dylan like twice before.
I hear
Timothy Chalamet movie.
I hear that he's like the biggest, like one of the biggest, like, what is it, country singers or
I don't know what he is, but I heard people like, damn, Timothy Chalamet sucks as Bob Dylan, and then they listen to Bob Dylan. It's like, no, he actually did really good. I just don't like Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I feel like I don't need to watch the movie. I still haven't watched Wonka. This was before my Timothy Chalamet, I kind of like him phase. Like, by Wonka time, I'm like, I don't like Timothy Chalamet.
I would
Dune was my flipping point.
I would say Wonka does a very good job at being, like, you can see him becoming Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka.
Okay.
And, like, I just rewatched Willy Wonka, does not hold up.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy it because it's one of those kids' movies I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it will probably exist long after I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
I hope when Timmy Chalamet gets older, they remake Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
With him as
Yes.
Wonka again.
Because I think it would be very...
That would be an interesting callback. I mean, by then, like, I guess this is the 3rd remake of Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
This was kind of a prequel.
So...
This would be the 3rd remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
So Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I think, is the first movie.
Yeah.
The second movie with Johnny Depp, I think, is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes. Yeah, it
and
is.
then it's Wonka.
Yep.
And I mean, have you been to Hershey?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a great park.
I love Hershey Park. As a person who worked in its direct competitor, love Hershey Park. But Chocolate World, if you ever go there, it's basically free.
That's the one where you make the chocolate bars, right?
Yeah.
I got to do that. It was pretty cool.
Did you go on the like little dark ride there?
No, I don't think so.
So there's a dark ride where you like tour the chocolate factory.
Oh.
And it's...
Well, I wish I had done that.
It's very fun. There's these cows that sing to you. It's very fun. And
I would go up to, it's in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
I would go up to Pennsylvania to go to Hersheyland again.
that would be a fun vlog to
Yes, it
post
would.
on a video one day.
Make our own chocolate bar.
We could go to Sheets. Sheets,
Go to
guys.
Sheets.
Get the sandwich.
God, John's been talking to me about Sheets for fucking 3 years.
I love it. Ryan, I went to my family.
This was my hype up for Buc-ee's, and I was so upset when I went to Buc-ee's for the first time.
I went to my family in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
The nearest Sheetz to me right now is North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I was considering adding 4 hours to my drive home to drive 2 hours to Sheetz. I was considering it.
2 hours north and then 2 hours south,
Yeah.
and then
And I was this close. If I didn't have my ear infection, I would have done it.
That's insane.
And
It can't be that good. It's not. There's no way it's better than just like a straight up Wawa.
Ryan,
It's just a gas station.
Ryan, this is. I will dare say it. Sheetz is 10 times better than Buc-ee's.
How far is the closest one?
North Carolina.
That's it?
Yeah.
Then we're doing a road trip and we'll go up.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
It's fine. I'll get ready.
Okay.
But back to Paris.
Back to Parasite. We've not talked about
The
Parasite.
food in
for
Parasite. Well, we'll transition.
The Ramadan. Oh, get me started on the Ramadan.
See, I wish I could move to Korea, but I don't know the language.
I just wish I could. I wish Korea barbecue wasn't that expensive.
Hear me out. Monday.
Is it cheaper on Mondays?
It's cheaper on Thursdays.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe one day.
Thursdays.
Yeah. It's what is it? And you can get the cheaper menu. It's like $30.
Yeah, just no sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with no sushi.
I don't need the sushi.
So like they're we're just talking now. This is just a podcast.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what it's been.
Yeah. But
Hey, we said Ramadan that pertains to Parasite. Fuck you.
I mean now we're talking about Korean food. And so
Okay, but we're not talking about Parasite. We're a movie podcast.
we're a movie podcast. But their sushi at Isabon, I'll plug them.
Uh-huh.
Isabon at Orlando, their sushi, they have avocado in every single sushi, and I'm not a big avocado guy.
Really?
So I'm fine not getting sushi at
I love avocado. Best fruit. I'll put it out there.
Best fruit?
Best fruit.
Pineapple?
I would put it over pineapple.
Banana.
Oh, banana's low. Banana's low.
Apple.
Apple's low. Apple's even lower than banana.
Grape.
I'm not a big grape fan. I like strawberries. I like watermelon.
Dude, don't say that. When I say I'm gonna dress up, I'm gonna clip that, and I'm gonna when I dress up like a giant strawberry.
No, thanks. But I think if we're gonna go back to Parasite.
Any noodles? Oh, noodles are so fucking good. Don't fucking lie.
I tried udon for the first time recently. Like the thick noodles.
What did you think?
God, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
We gotta go to Domi one day. Domi is a Michelin star
Yeah.
restaurant, and you can get a bowl for like $6.
I'm telling you, we just go record this stuff and then someone will watch it.
Yeah.
But going back to Parasite, this was my second time watching it, and there's a lot of stuff I recognized while I didn't watch it the first time. One was that the housemaid was the housekeeper to the architect, so she knew about the basement. That's why she could have had her husband down there between the moves.
Oh.
The second was the first time Mr. Park came up the stairs. The lights were going the whole time. Those were always included.
That guy loved Mr. Park.
Oh my god.
That guy
fed and housed him. For free. What a nice man. The third is the Park family is like a normal family. There's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah. Like
they fired their driver because they thought he was having sex in their family car.
Because the whole thing was, why would she leave her panties?
Yeah.
Like, it's normal to leave an earring or a...
Yeah, or a piece of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But panties, they were like, oh, they were on drugs.
Yeah. And then the execution of the tuberculosis on the maid was exquisite.
Crazy.
The hot sauce on the... Oh my god.
And, like, the whole symbolism of, like, these people be living... So, their house is on a hill. because they're going uphill,
Mm-hmm.
and these people living below them.
Yeah. Wow. That's something I didn't pick up. I like that.
That's
Or the whole cockroaches thing that you pointed out.
The cockroaches,
Mhm.
once the lights are turned on, will scurry to their home.
Yeah.
And the smell.
The smell, and that might be my favorite symbolism in the entire movie.
Like, I wonder, like, if we hung out with, like, frat dudes who are, like, notably probably rich,
Mm-hmm.
because they have to spend, what, $12,000 on friends
I
every
mean,
year?
if you if you're living in a frat house, you probably smell like beer.
No, but, like, I mean, but can they just smell?
Can
What?
they smell poor people?
Yeah, because, like, I feel like frat houses are also, like, a class thing. Because that's the whole reason, like...
I was gonna say people in frat houses probably smell worse.
I don't know.
No,
I don't smell... I don't...
I don't hang out with frat guys, so I can't. I don't know.
But I wonder if, like, hey, if you're rich, can you smell whether somebody's poor or not?
Leave
Leave a comment.
I've been in a frat house. It just smells like beer. Like it smells like spilled beer.
Like stale beer.
Yeah. But I mean, like the whole, like it was after it rained that like, the wife could smell it too. The fact that the kid could smell it so early on was interesting.
Yeah, because like the kid's been a scout this entire time.
Yeah, I feel like they just add that for whatever reason.
Yeah,
The kid never sees the Morse code.
Yeah, he sees it in the tent.
But he doesn't like know that it's like
Morse code.
Morse code.
No, he has the dashes.
What does he write it out as?
Hope. It was help.
Oh, he does. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he totally does.
He speaks Morse code.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know who it pertains to.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it says, like, I'm in the basement.
I mean, probably.
Have you ever watched Imitation Game?
I love that movie.
It's so good.
That movie's so good.
And it's, like, based on true story, too.
I know.
And it's so sad because, like, he's gay and...
That's not even the saddest part, is when it's like, we can't save your brother, because if we do, they know that we know.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
And when they're like... when they say the phrase that they figured out...
Yeah.
Because I don't want somebody to clip that. I know you guys would clip it.
I haven't seen, it's been a while, so I don't know what phrase you're talking about.
When they say about their leader, when they
I don't remember what it is.
when they salute his leader in Germany.
That one?
When they go,
They raise their hand and
when they say rock snow and then their leader's name.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh,
I guess I haven't seen it in a while. The only one I remember the Benedict Cumberbatch is gay and that he's
and I think he's
in the
dying
Sacred
from
Brother
like AIDS.
Is he?
Like very early onset AIDS.
Who plays the like? I get it's not love interest because
Is it Scarlett Johansson?
I thought it was either that or Amy Adams. I don't remember.
Amy Adams.
It might be
I don't know if I'm just getting ScarJo from Jojo Rabbit because that's very clear in my mind.
I think that might. I don't know. We'll look it up after. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that movie's fantastic. I just recommended that to someone recently because we were talking about encryption and code. I'm like, have you seen Imitation Game? They're like, no. I'm like, watch it. It's fantastic. I love that movie.
Because like in college, like I took American history,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about the Enigma machine.
Yeah.
And it's such like an interesting like thing, and I like there's some things in the like world that I wish I can go back to see, just be like a bystander.
What I think is interesting is that I feel like it's so easily replicable today because of AI. Is you could remake an Enigma machine with AI. It's like, hey, change this code, like change the password or whatever, or decipher this and whatever.
So
pretty easily.
It's actually really cool that you say this because we're getting off topic.
Do we ever not?
Yeah, we're actually a theme park podcast.
I saw that one. I saw that.
That was pretty good. I was taking Matrix of Linear Algebra, and
Mm.
there was this professor who was teaching it, and he was like, oh, I have to change my password again. And he's like a genius on AI and like actual like matrices, which is all our passwords.
Yeah.
All our passwords are in matrices.
Yeah.
And he's like, did you know it would take a coder 93 years to hack your password without a data leak? And if you change it, that only adds like 5 years.
That's crazy.
And it's like they have a better chance at randomly guessing your password than just brute forcing. And like I may be misquoting him and maybe the wrong amount of years, but I trust him. He's the one who wrote me a letter of rec.
I took such a cool class last summer. This is when I was still CS, and so I got to take this class. The second 2/3 of the class sucked because it was all coding, and I had to actually code encryption. And coding encryption sucks.
Yeah.
But actually learning the encryption was super interesting. So it was like Caesar cipher, and then there was like matrix cipher, and there's like 5 different ciphers I learned. And so I learned them by hand, and by hand was really cool. Coding them was the biggest pain in the ass I've ever had to do in my life. So I immediately switched from CS after this class.
Like my professor was like, yeah, you know the whole thing like where you should have a special character, 2 numbers, and like a certain amount of characters.
Yeah.
That alone gives you like 70 years.
Yeah.
And like a hacker would just give up. And so
the beast is revealed.
The beast is revealed. But yeah, I mean I love when movies have the whole something happens very early on in the plot, like the cutting of the wires. You don't see the camera.
Yeah.
You don't see him go back in the house.
No.
And I think that's why I like Signs so much.
It's that early. Oh, you get the reward now, and you get it later. It's like, oh, she got the wires so she could get in, but he's using that to his advantage to get his reward later. And I agree. Signs was a beautiful example of that.
I'm gonna call that double dipping. If you
ever use the term double dipping, you heard it from here.
But it's like you hear something first, and you're like, oh, that's a cool little detail. Maybe it'll come back later. And then when it does, it's like I paid attention.
Wow. Yep.
And so that's a double dip.
It's like you double dipped.
It's like you take a chip, you go a little bit of information. It's like, oh, maybe I want some more.
But now you have more surface area. The Kings was better the second time.
Oh my god, Moe's chips.
They're a little thin. Not as thin as fucking Chili's chips. That's paper. Chili's chips are paper.
Those don't exist. Have you ever seen?
But they do when you get them for the 3 for me, and you eat all the chips, and you're like, I can't have a burger now.
Have you ever seen the Mickey Mouse Beanstalk short?
I don't think so.
So they are so short on cash that when they cut bread,
the bread is like, yeah.
You can see the bean. Those are chili chips.
Yeah, those are chili chips. I guess to get us back on the note of Parasite, you got 3 fun facts.
I got 3 fun facts. Also, I can cream about the shots all day in this movie. They're so fucking good. Like the shot with the ivy on the wall.
Yeah.
And then
the whole curve up the street. Yeah.
And then there's the staircase shot.
Mm-hmm.
Corner
to corner. That was good.
There were some times I just looked at Ryan and I was like, ooh, that shot, my pants are soaked.
Hey, we both got an eye for it, so
yeah,
we know what we're looking for.
So this is the longest reoccurring bit that we have.
I don't know what episode this is. Like 30 something.
This is 29.
This is 29
of the actual podcast.
So close to 30.
Almost. So, number 1. The Parks house, said in the film to be designed by a fictional architect named Namgong Hygiona
There's no way you wrote that down
was
during the movie.
was a set completely built by scratch.
Okay. Because that was the name of the architect, so okay.
2. All painting and set designs were made by a famous Korean artist, Cho Young-ik, who also has inspired some anime stills in Howl's Moving Castle and some of the Pokemon locations, Seafoam Gardens and Cape Brink.
No. No. You can't reference two of my favorite things and go, yeah, that's true.
But what?
Go ahead, number 3.
Number 3. A home tutor was chosen because the director realized that sadly the job was the only way that families of two extreme ends of class would meet.
No. Because, I mean, I don't know how he knew English that well. You're referencing Howl's Moving Castle and Pokemon in the second one. And the third one was you referenced the name that was in the movie. Was you wrote that down during the movie?
I did have my phone out.
I did see you have your phone out. I'm like, this guy's missing part of the plot.
I was sober then.
I think number 1's fake.
Number 1's fake?
Yeah.
Ryan, sometimes you gotta trust your gut. Number 2 was fake. Dude, I looked at my searches are goth baddies.
Goth baddies, Korea baddies.
Dude, there were so many beautiful
If you had
ones.
just put Pokemon or just put Howl's Moving Castle, it would have caught you out. But for both of them, I'm like, interesting.
But the fact that those 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 are correct.
Mm-hmm.
I understand Korea because they had a war in the 1950s.
I don't know when the Korea War was, but
I believe it was right after World War II.
I think you're right.
So it's 1950s, maybe 60s.
Yeah.
So they're very recent because I think North Korea and South Korea were the same.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Oh yeah, they split because of the
Because there's the whole mention of the parallel, which is the dividing line between, which I also hate to say I would love to go there in person and just see it, and just notice the two different.
Yeah.
Because there's the whole non-militarization zone, where there is a room where one half is North Korea and the other half is South Korea.
That's just crazy that exists.
It's poetic.
Okay.
I mean, it's just crazy that things like that still exist.
Yeah.
And especially now that there's wars happening.
I think it would be very interesting to see nowadays. I've always wanted to go to I've never been to Asia, anywhere in Asia, but Korea I would love to explore, and Japan and China I would love to explore them.
I think I would rather go to Korea, Seoul, because Japan, I always hear that it's very Americanized.
It's definitely, certain places have been become very touristy. There's some places that haven't been, but they're so close. Go to some in the same trip.
What is it? There's the Royal Palace that looks beautiful.
Kyoto in Japan is very religious, and it hasn't been touristicized or whatever the word would be.
I also love the rules in these places that are hey, you shouldn't walk and eat.
Yeah.
And it's just growing up, we always heard I always heard, if you ever have a hat on, you take it off when you go into a building.
Oh, I've heard that too.
Or just certain rules, and it's just I kind of wish we had some of that because it's being respectful. Yeah. And I feel I know
we've lost a lot of respect in America.
I know being progressive and being wanting to move forward.
Well, I feel a lot of those can be taken as they're not all not all of those rules are conservative. I feel a lot of them would be progressive and just or at least update those rules to be oh, it makes sense that we would do this because of this. Like, we don't always have to take off our shoes in the entrance or wherever, which, I mean, I don't disagree. That's just the example that came to my head. You're not tracking dirt into someone else's home. It makes sense. Leave your shoes at their door.
And like, just like the whole, it's a whole respect. I love you, Mr. Park. But it's just the whole like idea. I feel like, oh, you shouldn't have these traditions. Like, I feel like tradition as a word has grown in meaning. Being more traditional means being more conservative, and conservative has a negative connotation nowadays.
I agree.
But I mean, I would enjoy if things were more respectful, like saying please, thank you, holding the door open for people. Because like holding the door open for people hurts nobody.
Exactly.
Like, I remember one of the last times as a child, because I went through a little pissed off age when I was like 13, but I was doing some type of fundraising for football, and like I held the door open for somebody, and somebody like faked, oh, here's your tip, and I'm just like,
yeah, you're welcome.
Like, yeah, just like say like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And, like, I always thank people. I think it was beaten into me.
Oh yeah, probably same, but it's also like, now I don't have to open the door. I feel like that's common nature. Like, if you're not taught to say thank you, I feel like you still would say thank you for holding the door.
And like also like when I hold the door open for somebody and they don't say thank you, I automatically like, I don't know if this happens to you too, but I like assume what kind of person they are.
Not fully. I mean, like sometimes I'm like, oh, sometimes I don't say. Maybe I don't. Sometimes I don't say thank you to the person who held the door. If I hold the door and they walk in, if they're like with a group, especially if like group of 3 or whatever, they're all talking and I hold the door, they all walk in and none of them say thank you. I'm like,
a knowing nod.
Yeah. But like I'm not like, I don't hold it against them or whatever to
like I don't hold it against them. It's just like,
it's more of a like, it's a courtesy. I don't respect anything in return thing. I'm just holding it open because if I didn't, I'd feel like, oh, I closed it on them. That's how I feel.
Side note, I love the awkward amount of space that it has.
What's the right amount of distance?
Because it's
good
like,
one. Write that one down.
If it's like, I feel like the perfect distance is probably like 10 feet.
Yeah.
If I can look behind me, that's the worst. When I just like do the look behind me and I'm just like,
That's the gauge. You're opening a door, you do a quick look around, or like,
if I can see them in the reflection of the door, then I hold it open.
and you check the reflection of the door.
I do this as a power move.
That's a crazy power move.
Because like when I'm walking into the building that I work in, I can see the reflection very clear because it's all glass door.
Interesting.
Because you know the doors that I walk into.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I see this person. I'll hold the door open for him, and then it just like looks like a no look pass.
Wow.
And
that's a power move.
I had a student the other day hold the door fully open for me. Like took a step back and like.
Wow. And sometimes I do the full step back. I don't even go in. I hold it open and then I go in. Yeah.
I feel like that makes me feel like an asshole. Because I'm just
that one makes me feel like a doorman for like a royal guard.
We gotta start just like holding open the door for people, just being like, my lord.
Yeah. My liege.
Yeah. But like, this goes into very class issues, and I feel like at first the family, because I'm not sure when he decided, because if there was no art teacher, there would be no reason to like gain.
I mean, but I feel like he had that plan from the beginning that he would get his sister in somewhere, because he lied about it so easily right away. Yeah. I think he had like, once he got in, he's like, I know I can get my family in somewhere else. He would have gotten his sister in and his dad, his mom in at some point for some position.
Yeah.
But going back to class, we're already at 45 minutes.
That's crazy.
Going back to class. Let's talk about Squid Game.
Talking about Squid Game.
Squid Game 2, I guess, in particular.
So, I feel in Squid Game, you have the entire bread scene. Have you seen people doing that in real life?
Yeah.
And it's just like, guys, this isn't like an actual issue.
It's really bad.
And I don't know if it comes out of desperation, bad decisions.
I think it's in. I shouldn't talk about this online. I'm not going to say. It's in the person's nature.
Like greed.
Not greed, but like
hope.
I think it's more. I think it is more hope, or like. I can take the bread and I'll be exactly how I am today, or I can take the chance, and I think they are taking the chance, and that's like. You get the bread for a day. It's like it's literally. I think it's teach a man to fish, whatever, or like give him a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him for life. I think they're taking the chance on learning how to fish with the lottery ticket.
But like learning how to fish is the whole like if I learn how to do this, I can do something.
Yeah.
And
it's probably a bad example of what I just said, but like. It's you're taking the day reward or you're taking the chance on the life reward.
Yeah.
And everyone's taking the chance on the life reward.
And like that guy is purely doing it out of joy.
Yeah.
Like
that's the bad part. Is he's not doing it out of care, he's doing it out of malice.
Yeah, cuz he knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He like so like it's the whole I was driving over. This is a side note. It's not a side note and it doesn't pertain to this situation, but it was something that I thought would be funny to do, and then when I saw somebody doing it, I was like, no, this guy's an asshole. It was a guy on Winter Park Avenue, and he had a sign that says, need money for weed. And it was just like, dude, you're a fuck up.
Yeah.
There's actually, like, there's people here that actually need help. And they need, like, you do those, I don't want to call out Ryan for doing a good thing, but he does care packages for the homeless. And, like, that's stuff to actually help them. And he doesn't stomp on them. He doesn't go, hey.
He doesn't hand people full crackers, not crumbles of crackers.
But, like, that's just something, because I thought it was, like, what I would do to make a meme or make a video out of the situation, because we're doing more creative stuff. I was like, would it be funny if I'm like just graduated college and need money for beer? And then I'm just like, because you kind of have to take a step back, especially when you're writing stuff.
Yeah.
And being like, is this funny now because I'm in my room and I'm not in the field of filming it?
Because at that point you might actually get money from someone and they're like, oh, I did my good deed for the day, and then they're not giving it to someone who actually needs it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's why harmless pranks when we're interviewing people, eventually, when we're doing stuff for our own, doing it creatively, as long as we're not intruding on somebody potentially having a better life, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And
100%.
People outside this podcast may say, John, you're a bad person for stuff I do. Off the record.
Off the record?
Yep. But the whole... Because I think somebody once said to me, like, John, you're very rude in the way you act, but I know it comes from a kind place.
What an odd thing to say.
And it was very, like, because I always go for the joke.
Yeah.
If I see a joke there, I will say it, and then it's always better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. But I will always try to make light of a situation, even if it may not be funny. I do know the line. I sometimes, if this is the line, teeter across it. But I like that line. And I think this family crosses the line when they start killing people.
Oh, the Parasite family. Yeah.
See, we brought it back.
What are we talking about?
We don't.
We're killing people. What have you done? But no, I was trying to lead in Squid Games because.
Oh yeah.
I have 3 fun facts about Squid
Games. You
Games.
have three fun facts about Squid Games is going to be crazy.
That's Spotify. That's not my notes. I got 3 fun facts about Squid Game because we both watched it recently. Squid Game 2 just came out. It's fantastic. None of these have spoilers, actually. None of these are spoilers.
Oh, are they season 1 or season 2?
These are the show in general.
The show in general?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 1. Squid Game was originally supposed to be a movie, but then switched to a TV show to be called Round 6.
Round 6.
Mm-hmm. Number 2. The doll in Red Light Green Light is a real attraction at a horse carriage museum that was borrowed for the show.
Shut the fuck up.
And
These are good.
Number 3. The designs for the guards come from a Korean game show that translates to Hole Plunge, which is essentially a Korean hole in the wall.
Oh, number 3 is where I draw the line, because horse carriage. Are you thinking D and? Did I? I'm between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Cause I seen a game where they're on Glass Bridge and they have like kazoos and and then they shoot them with like, I think it's milk in a t-shirt cannon.
That's kind of funny.
I've seen this before and they just like, somebody falls down and they just go and just so I think that exists. I think 2 is the made up one.
You think 2 is the made up one?
Yeah.
2 is real.
I want to go to that horse museum.
3 is false. There is no Korean hole plunge show.
I'm happy that it was in my guess.
Yes, it was in your suspicion. But the robot was borrowed from a horse carriage museum to play Red Light Green Light. Which is crazy.
No way it goes back, right?
I think it did. I think they returned it at the end.
So did they make an entire new one? Maybe.
Maybe because
they had a budget.
the one for the second
has the eyes moving.
Is different than the one from the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other fact I want to add there is that season 1 of Squid Game was written over the course of like 10 years.
Yeah. I knew that.
Yeah, I didn't add that
because I brought it up
too. I'm like that's crazy.
I mean the writer, he was very poor when he started writing it.
We did talk about that. Like, wow, I wonder if like, for Parasite we did. We're like, I wonder if they wrote it like very quickly because they knew exactly what they wanted, or if they like it took a long time to write Parasite.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a Googleable thing.
It probably is. I'll check real quick.
But I mean, whoever wrote this did a great job. I wonder if it was a team. I wonder if it was just like a guy or a girl. But whoever wrote this did a great job with dialogue.
It took 4 months.
4 months
to write the script, and 4 years developing the idea.
Okay.
Okay, so 4 years, but still, good. 4 months to I don't know. 4 months to write it, and then 4 months. Maybe that's 4 months developing like casting, acting, or like script rehearsing and filming and editing.
So, like, I mean, getting locations.
Yeah.
Too. But the whole, I'm trying to think. Like Stephen King writes 9 pages every day of a book.
That's 9 pages is a lot a day.
Yeah, a day.
Yeah.
And like, cause like, I was just watching. I don't know the exact interview, but there's an interview with Stephen King where he talks a lot, and the way he describes ideas, and like, he's like, yeah, I have some ideas that I'm like, I would love to write that, but he just doesn't have the time to, and he's like,
I'm already in the middle of something.
What's the way he thinks of ideas is beautiful because he goes, I'll think of something, and then a few years down the road, somebody will have something exactly the way I would have done it.
Yeah.
And it's better that they had that idea because I probably would have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But
that's a good way to think about it, yeah.
And it's just like, it's like the way people think of stealing ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, you had that idea, but if you don't act on it, somebody else's...
It's not stolen. People have the same ideas all the time.
Yeah.
It's never a stolen idea. It's you didn't do what you could have done based on the idea you had.
I think of it the same way, like, the human mind can't create a face.
Yeah.
Every book that you read, you can picture somebody as that character.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have this idea
in
of
dreams as well.
In dreams.
Yeah.
Which they differ. Nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about creepypastas for a second. There was a good creepypasta. Dude, that meme ruined creepypastas, but like 2013 peak. But there was this one, and it was about the monsters you see in the corner of your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this entire like speech. It was like this poem. It's probably terrible now, but
There's the TikToks you sent me all the time. So the creepypasta you revisit 5 years later. He's on the basement.
I will never. I'm going to talk about two creepypastas because they're really back when I listened to them, they were really good stories. But the first one was the monsters you see in the corner of your eyes, and it was told in a way of like warning you about, oh, you saw something in the corner of your eye, and you better, once you look at it, it's gone. It's kind of Weeping Angel-esque. But it was, oh, you can avoid these things, but why would we ever tell you how to avoid it? And it was like, if the monster was writing the story. And it was kind of like, it was worded better.
Here's a weird little fact about me. I used to fall asleep to them. Like, I would play one on YouTube and, like, put my phone on my bedside table and just fall asleep while the creepypastas were playing.
A lot of the people who did it, like, I watched Creeps MC Pasta, and his voice was very good.
It's very soothing.
Like, did you watch Creeps?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the name of the... Like,
he had, like, a Pokemon mask on his, like...
I don't think so. I don't think it was that guy.
And then there was one that was Mr. Trenchfoot. And it was about this kid who went to a party, and basically... the kid mentions a bully that he used to talk to, and he passes by a storm drain, and there's this guy in a trench coat, but he can't see the face, but he can hear the voice. He's like, come closer, and then he starts like growling, and it was like there's like more dialogue. I'll play it to you after this because it's like probably 6 minutes, but eventually he's like, I gotta go, and he makes it to this party, nothing happens, but then the kid who he talked about being the bully never showed up and disappeared. So it's like Mr. Trenchfoot got him. And it's just like, I say I won't revisit, I'm gonna show Ryan these two.
He has super realistic eyes.
What do you mean?
He's real, what do you mean he has realistic eyes?
But like, it's the whole, I enjoy the creepypasta. There was a story about a body farm, which I think that would be a cool setting for a movie.
Yeah.
Because...
I think it's better than horror, because horror is just jump scare, whereas this is like, you're building something up to like, even just through text, you're able to scare someone.
Like, reading horror is so much more
interesting.
Because your entire, like, mindset is like, oh, it's just a movie, I'm being shown something.
Yeah.
Where if you're reading it, you're experiencing it.
Yeah.
And, like, this movie especially, like, when you're going down to the basement, you have no idea what's going to show up.
You're not being shown how to feel. You are actually...
When that door was there, I looked at Ryan and I go, I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I start, like... I listed 2 things off to Ryan, and he goes, yeah.
They both happen, but guess the plot twist. I bet you can't.
And
even if I tell you there's a plot twist, you're still surprised.
Because after you said that, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Are they replacing the entire family? No.
No.
Are they... but then you find out there's a guy controlling the lights, and you're like... Because they don't bring attention to it directly.
It's such a passive... Like, it's him walking up, but you're focused on exactly what you said. I wonder what Mr. Park looks like. So you're focused on meeting Mr. Park for the first time. You're not focused on the lights coming up the stairs. It's not... The shot isn't on the lights. It's on him.
I bet you felt exactly how you felt when we watched Now You See Me.
Yes. I'm like... Honestly, because I've seen Now You See Me many more times, and so I'm like, I notice more things. Watching this for a second time, and knowing... Having forgotten some of it, and then remembering some of it, like, I remember the lights. I'm like, oh, I bet if he comes up the stairs for the first time, the lights are going to go off. And it did. I'm like, wow. He's down there right now hitting the lights with his... I mean, it probably wasn't his head, because he could hit him with his hand, because they weren't tied behind his back. But he's down there. And that's crazy. And then I forgot that the house, like the housemaid, I forgot she was his wife. And then I'm like, oh my god, that's why she comes back when the whole family's there. So
I wish he would have, like, we would have saw the lights going up, like, when he's watching from far away.
yeah,
Just the man walking up the stairs and him knowing that somebody has to be downstairs.
Yeah.
I'd rather that be it than a Morse code.
well, because the guy down there originally, he worshipped Mr. Park, and so he was like, these are your lights, your motion sensor. Whereas the dad, Mr. Kim or whatever, he didn't worship the German guy living there. He just wanted to let someone know that he was down there.
Yeah.
So
This movie is beautiful.
it's so good.
Like, when their house is flooded,
yeah,
like, that's just...
and it slowly, like, it starts at like their like calf level. It slowly gets up to like their neck as they're grabbing stuff and bringing it out to bring it to the gymnasium.
And he's holding the rock, too.
Yeah.
As the lights are flickering. And
Yeah.
you can, like...
It'll bring your family wealth.
Yeah.
Is what the like beginning line of it is.
And he's seeing the... Like, I don't know if that's him descending into darkness with the lights flickering and then eventually it shuts off.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he's holding that and then he starts going down the stairs.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's gonna tie up the loose end and then he just starts unleashing them.
Yeah.
And I mean, if he just kept that closed...
Then the family would be okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I have another running bit that we do on the show.
What you got?
I have guessed the budget. This time I have 3 movies.
You do.
All of them produced overseas.
Okay.
Some of them may not be a movie.
Okay.
Okay?
You got a show?
I have a show.
Is it Squid Game?
It's Squid Game, season 1. Guess the budget.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
These are in order. The numbers will not be in order.
Okay.
They may be. Who knows?
Okay.
We have Parasite.
Uh-huh.
We have
Movie we just watched.
Boy and the Heron. And Squid Game season 1.
We have yet to watch... No, we watched 9. We watched 9. I was going to say an animated film.
Oh,
we
yeah.
watched 9. So Squid Game season 1, Boy and the Heron, and Parasite.
Yep.
What's your numbers?
My numbers are 21 million,
Wow.
53 million,
Wow.
and 12 million.
12 million. Okay. I think that the cheapest one... No, because you said they built the house for Parasite. That's one of your facts. That was true. But animation's expensive. I think animation falls in the middle, and I think it is the 23 million. Is that where the number was? 23?
21 million.
21 million. I think Parasite is the most expensive at 53.
53 million?
I think Boy and the Heron is the least expensive at 12. No, wait, no, because that one has expensive. Are you talking about the Japanese, or are you talking about the American voice acting?
I just looked up Boy and the Heron.
That one has expensive voice acting. Okay, then I'm going to switch. I'm gonna switch Squid Game and I'm gonna switch Boy and the Heron. Boy and the Heron is now 21 million.
Yeah.
And Squid Game is 12 million.
12 million?
Found an answer.
What if I told you you got none of them right?
Damn it. Damn it.
It's when I had the third one. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going to guess this if you know.
Yeah.
So Parasite, you would have been correct if you said 12 million.
Parasite's cheapest.
Parasite's the cheapest thing.
Wow. Okay.
Because
I guess they really only had like one set.
I think they only built the house.
That's probably it.
Everything else, I think, is in the city. So
Yeah.
Boy and the Heron is 53 million.
Wow.
It is the most expensive animated movie ever made.
Wow. Because is the director of Parasite the same as the director of Train to Busan? I think it is. And so I included
I'm gonna
that.
look that up.
I included that as part of my budget. I'm like, I'm sure they paid him a lot because of.
Site director. I think.
You looked up Parasite director. I'll look up Train to Busan director.
It's Bong Joon-ho.
Train to Busan director is Yang Sang-ho, so not the same.
No.
Okay. I thought they were the same, so I included it as part of mine.
They had the same like last.
Yeah, yeah.
But
then Squid Game is 12. No, Squid Game is 21.
21.
Okay.
For the first season, which is pretty good.
That's a lot higher than I thought it would be. But I guess they have very big sets there. So.
And also, I didn't know the front man was in the G.I. Joe movie.
The recent one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like the one with Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum?
Or no.
Is it Snake Eyes or are you talking about Snake Eyes?
Yeah. Or no. Wait. Which year was he in?
It came out maybe 2 years ago, 2022.
G.I. Because he was not in the animated one.
Yeah, yeah.
Movies. He was in like the 2013 one. He wasn't in Snake Eyes.
Okay.
He was. See? There he is.
Yeah.
He plays Storm Shadow.
Okay.
Which I hear is terrifying.
With The Rock and
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Bruce Willis.
That's a crazy cast. Speaking of when movies came out, I have a...
What movies came out? Because I know some movies that were affected by COVID.
So, this was 2019. Was Parasite.
Yes.
The other two movies I use are...
So you only have 3 movies?
I have 5 movies.
5 movies. Okay.
I have 3 from 2018, or sorry, 3 from 2019, which is the year Parasite came out, and then I have 2 others from. Actually, I think one's from 2018 and one's from 2017.
Okay.
So these are all because I was looking up. I'm like, oh, what's a 2020 movie or what is a 2021 movie? I'm like, these all have COVID vibes. John's gonna know. I have to go pre. I can't go after.
Pre is such a.
It's
Wild West.
much harder. Number 1, another foreign film, The Platform.
No, that's COVID. I watched that in my dorm. Or no. That's pre-COVID. Because I watched it with my ex-girlfriend. And the dog died in front of her. And she's like, oh, Frankie. Because he was a dachshund.
There's a dog in The Platform?
Yeah, he eats the dog. Or no, the girl eats the dog.
Okay. Number 2, The Lighthouse. We've watched that one, but
That's
that was before this bit.
That's 2017.
Number 3, Blade Runner 2049.
That's 2019.
Number 4, Us.
Us is 2019.
And number 5, Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the first one?
The first one.
It took a long time for the sequel. When did the sequel come out for this part? That was post-COVID. I was back home for when it came out.
The sequel came out post-COVID, yeah.
Ooh. So what were the year? The one was 2018 and 2017?
3 of them are 2019. One of them's 2018. One of them's 2017.
2017 would have been 2019's code. 2019 has to be platform.
Okay.
And then also, because right now it isn't getting them all right, it's trying to get the exact year right. Because that's my bonus challenge.
Yeah, that is your bonus challenge. Which it's a lot harder than what you give me, but yeah.
Can you list the movies again?
Yeah, you're guessing platform is 2019. Your remaining 4 are Lighthouse, Blade Runner 2049, Us, and Into the Spider-Verse.
I saw Us. I didn't see Us in theaters. I saw Nope in theaters in 2022.
Uh-huh.
And it would have taken him at least 2 years to get that movie. Us has to be 2018 or 2019.
Okay.
So we have Us and we have...
And you have platform is 2019. You got one more out of Lighthouse, Blade Runner, and Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse is 2019. Or no, because there was a second movie in 2022. Because I saw that was Scotty.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who Scotty is, but yeah.
Scotty pulled crazy. Scotty, not. Into the Spider-Verse has to be 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2017, I'll go Blade Runner.
And Lighthouse is 2019.
Wait, no. Lighthouse, I know that Lighthouse was 2017. What? No, Lighthouse was 2019. Because I remember writing that. I wrote these thumbnails.
Yeah, you did. That's why I always like adding in a movie that we've done. Because it's like, does John remember?
No, Lighthouse was 2019. So it goes Lighthouse first, then Witch, then Northman, and then Nosferatu.
Uh-huh.
That's a very quick 4 years. So Lighthouse was 2018. 2017 was Into the Spider-Verse. And then everything else is in 2019. Did I get it?
I gotta scroll through for a second. Hold on. I gotta make sure you're right. Which one did I put down? Oh. That one's 2017. So what was your 2017 movie it is?
2017 was Lighthouse.
Okay.
Or no, 2017 was Lighthouse, 2018 was Into the Spider-Verse, and then the other 3 are 2019.
2018 was Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
So you're right. Us was 2019, so you're right.
Okay.
Platform was 2019.
Okay.
You're right.
And then I flipped.
And then you flipped.
Fuck.
Lighthouse is 2019 and Blade Runner 2049 was 2017.
So with me, I remember the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
I know it has a straight line and then it goes like this, and I didn't know if it went back.
It goes up in that way, but does it curve back into a 9 or does it stay a 7?
That was my process, and I'm like,
It stays a 7.
let's see if it goes back.
Yeah. But
that was a really good pull.
Yeah,
because I've seen all those movies.
I'm like, I know you know all of these,
and it was just
these are very close.
I like that bit.
Yeah,
because it like.
I know you know your movies. I'm like, I would do terrible at that. I would not guess those very well. But I'm like, I know you know better than I do.
What was it would have been crazy if we'd done that like back when we did Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Because I would just be like, okay.
I mean, I did throw what other Wizard of Oz remakes or
that was.
I did do those.
I enjoyed that.
But I think we should get into our beer movie reviews.
I have 3 questions.
Oh shit! You got the questions.
I have.
It's gonna be a long episode.
I mean, what is it? We're
at like an hour 10 right now.
Hour 20. Or oh crap! That's 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's true.
We have 2-hour episodes.
That's true.
2. Exactly. So I have 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
They should be, what job would you want to work for this family?
Out of these 4?
Yeah.
I'm probably like the art teacher. That's definitely the easiest one. I mean, after a little bit of ballet, I wouldn't mind driving.
Yeah, one of them's your actual job.
One of them's my actual job. The driving's easy. You just learn this. If someone asked me to drive them around Orlando, I'd be like, yeah, I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I feel like driving's soothing, but I think the hard part about it is you have to talk to, like, you have to have either a constant, you got to pick up on their vibe. Do they want to talk or do they want silence? I think that I would be very bad at.
Because that's the whole, like, I currently picked up a job at Uber.
Yeah.
Like, I say at Uber, but it's like nobody oversees me.
No.
But, like, I picked up a job and I just do delivery now.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't want to do, like, pickups.
No.
Because I don't... I'm a very charismatic guy. I don't want to talk to people I don't...
I would be the Uber driver that doesn't say a single word to you.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't think I'd be very good at the driving.
We have two very
Yeah.
different Uber experiences on the same night.
Yes.
Because the first guy loved him.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything, opened the door for us.
Yep.
And
The
then
Joker.
The Joker the next. So we're going to get off topic. So this guy decided, hey, I'm going to talk to this big guy next to him. And he's like, do you mind if I call my niece?
Who's his lock screen?
Who's his lock screen, and also who he has custody of?
I think he was trying to get custody of her, something like that.
I don't know. But this guy was like, there's a bear in the front yard and I have to call. I don't think she existed. No way she existed. This guy kills people.
I think he was Slash from what band? I don't,
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, I used to, back in the day, Slash would get so high. We don't speak for Slash. I think he's a stand-up guy. But this guy thinks Slash got so high that he would go and perform on stage, but they would already have a track playing, so he would just have to go up and play the guitar. And then the Washington Post or somebody wrote about it and said it was Slash's greatest performance ever. And I swear this never happened.
I was kind of zoning out. He was Italian or something. I'm like, I need to relate to this guy or he's gonna kill us all. So I told him I was Italian. I told him my family was Italian.
I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and I'm like, Ryan's Irish. I literally did. Ryan, if you would have seen me look in the rearview mirror,
then I was
But I'm literally just in my head, Ryan's Irish.
Yeah.
This is not true.
No, I'm like, this guy needs to find some humanity in me or he's gonna needle us all and we're all gonna fall asleep and wake up dead.
Well, also, like, he was trying to talk to me when we were all getting out, and I'm like, okay, I'll take the bullet.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like...
I'm ushering people in the back seat to get out of the car.
And then, what is it, somebody's friend was like, I'm gonna puke, and it's
oh
just...
my gosh.
I don't like when people get overly intoxicated and it's just like, hey, this is a life or death situation.
You gotta get out of the car.
Batman. This wasn't even our Uber driver.
No. But so I would take the art psychiatrist.
Yeah.
She's like, I just looked it up and I bullshitted the rest, is what she said. And I'm like, yeah.
I think for me, tutor, I do that job.
It's true.
It.
You teach English.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to be doing on Red Note.
Yeah. What if I just become John the English tutor?
She's so funny.
And I just make millions.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys. My second question, let me pull it up. I need a notepad. How far would you actually go to replace people? You have your 4 family members.
Mm-hmm. I think their justification, especially with the driver, was, oh, he's a good driver. He'll find something. But I'm like, I don't want to kick someone out of their job so that my family member can have their job. It doesn't feel right. Especially if I'm the one. If they lost their job and my family member could take that job, that's fine. But if I'm the one who made them lose their job, that doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So if that's the point I have to get to, I don't think I'm getting to that position. Something else. I'll figure something else out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me, probably get one in.
You get one because there was no art teacher.
Yeah.
That position wasn't taken from someone else. The other two felt dirty.
Yeah. That felt like, oh, we got one on them.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, this is the poor will eat the rich story as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, Parasite. Like,
yeah, Parasite. Like,
but like the
there's
family is the parasite.
7 stages of
But
Parasite.
then so is the people in the basement. They're eating all the food, and it's like, yeah, they're living there for free.
Yeah.
Everyone's a parasite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So number 3, we're approaching the end of
I'll
this.
fly through those.
What would you have in your Korean graveyard?
Oh,
The little.
this is your glass box.
I fell in love with the way Koreans do cemeteries.
I fell in love with dead Koreans.
Okay, I'll clip that. But basically, in Korea, I don't know if this is everywhere.
Yeah.
They might have actual like graveyards, but they have their ashes in a little like glass case where everybody has their ashes, and I assume that's their entire community.
It's almost like those like the slide-in boxes for like you're not being buried, but it's your body in the wall.
Yeah.
But it's like it's that, but it's your urn and ashes in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have a picture of their daughter.
Yeah.
And sister. But
I think a picture is nice because it's like if someone who doesn't know you visits, they can see you as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, like a wedding ring, I think would be.
that's what I was gonna say. Is a ring or a pendant of some sort that like, but it's something that you wore all the time. It's not just a. I wouldn't just put a trinket that I had on my shelf or something, unless it meant something like a lot to me.
Sorry, the $600 Lego Daily Bugle.
Damn it!
Sorry, that's going in my. Beat that. My dice collection.
that would be so sick, actually. Have you heard of roll for sandwich?
I heard of roll for soda.
It's like roll for soda, but he rolls for sandwich. He's selling a cookbook that comes with a set of dice. I think I'm gonna get it because it comes with a set of dice, and it's like you roll. I've seen so many of his. Guess what? You roll for sandwich. Yeah, I've seen so many of his videos. One of them is a smoothie because he rolls really bad.
And it's
a smoothie of like turkey gizzard and sausage, and that's it. Because he rolled that bad. No bread, no cheese, no nothing. Blend it. So I think I'm gonna get it. If you haven't heard of Roll for Sandwich, go check him out. I think it's #1 bestseller for sandwich recipes on Amazon right now.
Did you see the D&D cookbook?
Yeah, I've seen it multiple times in person in like Michael's or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks really good. Yeah, but yeah, probably just a personal item that I wore a lot in my.
Like, what's the funniest thing that you could think of to put in there?
If you wore a grill, it's like it's my or my dentures.
What if it was just like a car dealership 50-foot flag of the United States? That would be pretty fun.
It's my kidney stone that it's the one time that I had a really big kidney stone.
The Bucky ticket, the Bucky golden statue.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, that's Bucky.
Yeah.
Do you have like a plot of land where you like where your family's buried, or like do you have like?
No. My grandpa is buried up in Boston, and then my other two grandparents are split between a lake and the Atlantic. Half of them in each.
Oh. Do you think
you'll never find their bodies?
Do you think like that would be a kind of like, I don't want to say cool story, but like if the ashes like meet in the river somewhere,
the lake is isolated.
Damn.
In the middle of Florida.
Through precipitation.
You become whole again in heaven.
But like my family back home has like a plot where it's just everybody from our family.
That's haunted. Like that's
like,
you know where to the north has ghost stories.
There's so many haunted like stories of the cemetery. Me and my friends did like the Tesla thing where it will pick up like
The people on the
yeah, it's like when you're doing it, terrifying.
yeah.
But I'm not sure if I told this story on here, but in the same cemetery, my brother went ghost hunting because there's nothing to do in the north besides go to Sheets and ghost hunt. Sheets, shout out.
Twice in one episode.
If they ever sponsor us, I will love you. Please put one in Orlando. But in the background, you can hear piano music, and
What the hell?
they're recording on their phone. And if I ever if you ever meet my brother, I'll ask him for to show the video, because he also has a live photo of when we were in Williamsburg. He's like, I'll just take a picture of these buildings because he does photography for a sports team. And he's like, I'll just take a picture of these old buildings. He's taking live photos. In one of the photos, you can see somebody standing in the window, and it's like a lady. And like we were told in the ghost story that, this lady used to live here, and you press it because it's a live photo, she's not there. But in the live photo, she's there.
It's gotta be like they put a projector in the window.
It's
I won't believe it till I see it.
It's so creepy. I think he deleted the photo. But the SAT, this was recorded because they did like a funny graveyard video for SATV.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where they have the recording of the piano music.
That's crazy.
And it's a same cemetery where they have like the cages.
We gotta go ghost hunting.
We have to do
We'll
ghost
do
hunting.
ghost hunting.
I'm free whenever. But they have cages over the cemetery, and it's like werewolf cages, but it was really, hey, these are rich people, let's keep the rich people safe from grave robbers. But yeah, that's a fun little tidbit of like...
No little side story, yeah.
Talk about graveyards, you'll get a couple ghost stories.
Sure.
So let's talk about our movie.
Let's get into beer and... What's your order right now? Do you remember your order?
My order is Hook.
Mm-hmm.
It's What's Inside.
Mm-hmm.
Terminator... Or Goonies.
Yep.
Terminator 2. Or Terminator 1. Fuck. I'm getting old.
He's long. I think I'm gonna have to start writing it down.
I gotta start writing it down.
Yeah.
Wolf Cop.
I forgot about Wolf Cop.
Wizard... Or something was...
How many have we watched?
Mummy, Wizard of Oz. This will be episode 8.
Okay.
So I have 7 listed right now.
Mine is... Number 1 is What's Inside.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Hook. I think my number 3 is... I think I put Goonies right below Terminator.
Yeah.
I might have to double check that. I might be wrong. So Terminator 3, Goonies 4, and then 5 would be Wolf Cop, and then 6 would be Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So where do I put Parasite? I can write yours down as well if you want me to.
So mine would have been
1 is
Hook.
Hook.
It's What's Inside. Goonies.
Terminator.
Wolf Cop.
Wolf Cop. Above Terminator.
I enjoyed Wolf Cop. Terminator. And then Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
And I am going to place this.
Uh-huh.
My number 2.
Wow. This is going above It's What's Inside.
Yes. We keep on watching really good movies.
Yeah, we do.
I can't emphasize that enough. We are watching good movies. We're expanding our horizons. This is our first... No.
Foreign film?
No, because you know what would be it. Wallace and Gromit.
As a British foreign film?
Yeah.
I guess technically, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this would be our first, I believe, from the continent of Asia.
Mm. For me, and I'm thinking, I'm like, would I rather watch Parasite or would I rather watch Hook? and I think I'd rather watch Hook. So Parasite is going number 3 for me.
Number 3. That's a strong 3.
Yes. Yeah.
Because right now our 3s are the same.
Or they're just different order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no. Hook's your number 2.
Hook's my number 2.
Yeah, so we're just like different order.
Yeah.
See, are we just proving that we have similar movie tastes?
But not. I don't think we prioritize them the same. But we have similar. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're just two.
Wait,
dudes.
is Wizard your last, or is Wizard? I thought you put Terminator below Wizard of Oz.
Terminator was low.
I think Wizard of Oz is bigger than Terminator for you. Okay.
But yeah, as far as beer goes, peanut butter chocolate milk stout from Lost Coast Brewery in Eureka, California. Again,
It's good.
again.
And we if you have not heard our Dragon Milk review, that's on Army of Darkness. I think it's like episode 18, maybe. It's late in our season 1. This one is very similar, but to me, this is better.
Also, just a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Coast Brewing Company's logo is so nice. You just gotta look at that. It's beautiful.
It's pretty good. I've seen better.
Name your top 5 beer logos.
Ah, my God. Yeah, maybe
yeah.
one day. I'm not doing that off the top of my head.
Yeah. I mean, very. Did you say Dragon's Milk?
Yeah.
Very Dragon's Milk. I also had peanut butter beer at Playa Linda Brewery. And,
I didn't have that, but you told me about it. I'm like, I'm very intrigued on what that.
It's so good.
This one does not taste like peanut butter.
I had Fluffernutter beer,
Mm-hmm.
which was basically they took whipped cream
Ooh.
and put it around the rim.
I bet that's good.
I looked like somebody.
Santa.
No.
Santa. You look like Santa.
I looked like Santa. Milk and cookies. But
this one does taste very coffee, and after I read it, it's like caramel. I'm like, oh, it does taste like caramel. It's very caramel. Chocolate milk is another good description. This was very more milky than Dragon's Milk.
This was more chocolate milk.
Yes.
I almost grabbed Fairlife. Because I wanted to
taste this and I
wanted to
interesting.
do a little mixology.
I bet that's pretty good.
I bet it's fucking great.
We'll try that another time.
I also want to try the regular milk Hershey syrup.
Yeah.
We're just making fight milk at that point.
I'm going to rate this very high. I'm going to put this as a 4.68.
Ryan, you're forcing me to go very high here.
Yeah, you're rating it higher than me.
This may be close to a perfect beer.
I thought about putting it at a 5. I thought about it.
Ryan, you
might have to. I might have to raise mine, to be honest. I might put it at a 4.8.
I'm putting this at a 4.91.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think we can go higher than this.
This is one of the best beers that we've had.
This is the best beer I had in a while.
It's good.
This is so Dragon's beer, Dragon's Milk.
Mm-hmm.
Like how
much more coffee than this?
How much alcohol is this?
5.6.
See, I feel it. I feel it though,
yeah.
but it's not scary.
No,
it's
Dragon's Milk was like 11.
Yeah.
Like
we were thinking it. But yeah, I feel like this doesn't taste as alcoholic. No. I can taste the alcohol in Dragon's Milk.
It's for me. It doesn't taste as coffee.
Yeah.
And that's why I like it more.
This is like if you just put the kids to bed and you have to put the gifts out.
When you tell your kids to leave out milk and cookies, leave this out.
I know the statistic on the amount of people that probably have kids that watch this channel. And it's
I hope they don't have kids that watch this channel.
No, that watch this channel
that have
and
kids.
have kids.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I should.
It's not for kids. I wrote it not for kids.
We need to have the discretion on this.
Yes.
But if you there is a statistic probably, but I would definitely recommend this. If this is the gummy beer where we're just like, hey, if you have a girlfriend that doesn't like beer,
yeah,
I would recommend this. Because they love coffee.
Oh,
Fair
enough.
They love it.
Fair enough.
It's the old well.
Good point. But other than that, can we? This is not. We're not.
This isn't our.
This is not an announcement episode.
Guys, something happened. We're gonna have a video that addresses it. It will come out tomorrow.
We got a lot of videos coming out this week, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. I hope it's not a bad thing.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not gonna say my first thing. I'll say it off camera.
Okay.
But it's like when your mom is coming at you with the wooden spoon. Like there's a little bit of anticipation.
It's when you're upstairs or in your room and she calls your full name. That's
Oh,
what it is.
when she gives you the full
But
name on birth certificate.
you get a hey, we need to talk text. That's what it is.
With just a random girl or
No.
that I would say that's a good old text from a random girl.
It's hey, we need to talk.
Hey, we need to talk. What
does it mean?
What does it mean? I don't know. Maybe it's good.
Could be bad.
Could be bad. Could be bad.
Could be really bad.
Other than that, this has been 3 Beers in a Movie podcast. We've been your hosts, Ryan and John.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. That's a good episode.
That was a good episode.